Well, here we are, quarter after 9 on Tuesday. 3 hours and I have a root canal. Lovely. But uh, this is a little different video. This is a video for Idimi. That's the channel. His name is Mark. You've heard me mention him. I have to refer to him as Mark 2. Mark 1 is the Mark that does all the burying and stuff. Now, this is a two-way video in the sense that I also uh, announced that the winner of the contest was Mr. Abnormal T, and he did I was just said I was very embarrassed to say how many people had put me on their coins, but what he did is put me on the front of the coin, flipped it over, and there was Yo, uh, and he's put that video up on that channel, or that video is on that channel, and I asked him to put it up on this one so you could see the winner. But there were so many others that that really that really did a great job, and Mr. Greg Williams had a really, from Australia, had me on the front, which is, as I said, embarrassing. But on the back he had Golden Pharaoh, and that was just very creative. There was another one by Lance OA that had a farewell to arms on it, as a mock to Barack Obama, because everybody's all afraid he's going to take everybody's weapons, and that's not going to happen. But it was very creative and very nice. Um, let's see, Bo Diddley did one that was funny because he made it a 50-cent piece. I thought that was clever. But everybody, I was amazed at how many people took part, and how many people had their kids take part. There were gorillas and giraffes and all kinds of stuff that was very amazing and very nice. Now, what this video is is Mark is told me he's willing to. I don't have time, and I wouldn't even know where to go. I'm not on eBay, and I don't have PayPal or any of that stuff. But he's willing to take some of the products that I have been part of over the years and try to sell them. Now, any of these things you can get. You can go to IDIMI, and I don't know if he's going to put up a separate channel for these or not, but he'll be able to direct you and then give you what the pricing and everything is. But you're all familiar with the fact that I wrote comics years ago, and 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 sold T-shirts, and well, I didn't sell T-shirts. I mainly gave them away. Uh, and this first one was called Rocky's Inferno, and it was a takeoff on Dante Allegro's Inferno. Uh, the first real, they consider the first real Renaissance writer. And we go through the different layers of hell as I perceive them. Now, this funny character on the front is a caricature of one of the kids that worked for me, and they all loved to be in the comics at the time. So I'd give pictures of them to the artist, and he would cartoon them into the comics. Now, what I did for these is that I wrote the stories and then did the layouts, and then the cartoon guy would go from the layouts and he'd do the cartooning, which is just tremendous work, just tremendous work. Then of course there's just the hero, Rocky Marijuana Seed, travels around the country. Beautiful, I mean, just beautiful, colorful stuff. Uh, and as I said, the hero is a guy called Rocky Marijuana Seed. And what these are is they're parables on on the uh, on the Vietnam War. They were written in '69 and '70, I guess. And then Rocky returns to psychedelic land. This is the second in the series of Rocky Marijuana comics, and he reappears out of a giant hookah to come around and save psychedelic land. Uh, yeah, Okay, well, that'll tell you where my head was at in the late '60s. And then the last one is In Search of Mr. Freak. It's a competition between all the big freaks of the day: Spyro Agnew, Charlie Manson. Uh, Jesus Christ, I know that's going to get me into a lot of trouble. Uh, and Timothy Leary. Spyro Agnew's the best. uh, Anyway, so everybody, I think, will enjoy that. Now, the next thing I did was a series of lampoons. I did three of them because I thought, well, nobody knows me, so I'll do an introduction. These are lampoons on Howard Stern, hypocrite moron that's on daily radio. I'm sure you heard of him. But anyway, so I figured, well, I'll start 3 or 4 different stories out in 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 the first one, and then add to them in the second one, and then finish them up in the third one. Now, uh, at this time, I had sent copies of my marijuana comics to Jackie the Joke Man, figuring maybe I can get some free mention on Howard Stern. And Jackie the Joke Man writes me a note back asking me to do a comic on him. And I thought, why bother with Jackie the Joke Man when I can do one on Howard, who's a much more known personality. So I butt her up to Howard on the first one, and then what's he do? First thing he does is every Jewish lawyer on Long Island writes me a letter telling me how I'm being sued in Superior Court in New York, and of course I couldn't afford to hire a lawyer, let alone go to New York and be represented. It would have been tens of thousands of dollars. Although I would have won the case, but it's not justice in this country who has the most money, so no one they wouldn't handle the comics, the lampoons, because I guess they're afraid of the lawsuit. But anybody can purchase these things. Third parties have nothing to do with it, and I won't even be selling them. These will be Mark will be doing the sales. Now, besides these, I I owned a little piece of this company that used to make uh, marijuana trading cards. So you can also get through Mark. You can also get these trading cards at Series 1 and Series 2. I don't know if there's any of them out there. And then there's the prototypes that we did for High Times Magazine. And if anybody's interested, they can PM me on the side, and I can tell you how these guys screwed me, how the group called Normal screwed me, because they don't really want marijuana legalized. They'd be out of business. And then he also did a series of cards on classic motorcycles, and this is the original prototype set. Now, when you're collecting uh, cards, then these are different than baseball cards. They put out a prototype and they distribute it to different card dealers to sort of give them an idea of when the other stuff comes out. But then and the when the set came out, it had a hologram. I don't know how good you can see that, but it had a hologram card with it. Now this card, in reality, cost 17 cents a piece to make. Holograms in those days were probably a little more expensive than they are today. But anyway, the card cost almost as much as the entire rest of the set to print. And this is an entire set. On the top is the hologram card, and then throughout the box is the 56 other cards in the set. Now, what I'm going to show you next, and finally, because I know everybody's bored by now, is the uncut sheets. And this is what you start out with when this is what you start like my usual preparation. This is what you start out with when you're printing them. Is a sheet like this. Let me get this chair out of the way. Yeah, is a sheet like this, And what that is that's the entire set of 56 cards. It comes on one sheet. Now these are collectible no matter what cards are being put out, because only the guy that's selling, that's having them printed up, has access to uncut sheets. And what they do is they just take them off the line. Here's the back. You can see every card here has all the information on the back of the card. So every one of these cards, see, and you can see how the numbering differs, because there was a machine that automatically put, when these were cut, automatically put these in order of 1 to 56. So this is what an uncut sheet looks like. And uh, the year we put these out, I went to Bike Week in Daytona, and then they always have an auction there where they sell antique bikes. Well, we went and sold these sheets uh, uh, there, but I have maybe 130 or so of them left. And anybody that's into antique bikes, this would make a great thing to hang on the wall. And you ship these in tubes, so they unravel very nicely. There's no kinks in them or anything. And you'll if you're really into bikes, you would really buy two sheets and put them side by side so you could read the back and you could read the front. But these are the products that we presently have, and hopefully we'll have some things that relate to silver. But you'll be able to go to Mark on IDIMI. He has some videos up now. He has a video up or two, uh, and you'll be able to purchase that stuff. So hopefully he'll have something. I'm shipping him down a box because we figured out it's cheaper than him driving up the 40 miles. It's cheaper for me to send him a medium-sized box with all the comics and stuff in it than it is for him to pay for the gas to get up here and back. And it saves him a lot of time, because uh, the first like 20 miles of the way is a lot of traffic, and then you get into rural South Jersey, and then it's not so bad. So that's it. I want to give a big shout out for Irish Silver Stack. If you go to his his uh, his channel, you'll see the most beautiful demonstration of one coin that you're going to see. And I think he's going to do, he does like a domino effect with them. And he was telling me, we Skyped last night, how long they took him to do it. And I think he's going to do a how-to on that start. But he's a drummer by profession, but he does beautiful videos. And then I was Skype typing with Mr. Abnormal this morning, telling him that I was going to send him $30 in place of a Morgan, because it's such a pain in the ass now to ship stuff overseas. I'd just rather send him the $30, and he's all flipping out. But it's just too much problem. And hopefully this time tomorrow my tooth will be fixed and I'll be in a much better mood, and everybody will be having a good week. Thanks for watching. And this one was made for to announce the winner, and for Mark too.